Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We continue with the position of Krishna, the status of the Lord. So we've looked at in the previous session the supremacy in the scriptures of the Supreme Lord, how he's in charge of the devatas. Yesterday we talked about his position according to the Bhagavad Gita, where he himself delineates his status. Unfortunately, we didn't record it, but I'll just quickly go through that again. And also his divinity being demonstrated. And then we can look at the qualities. So very quickly, we'll have a look at what he says in the Bhagavad Gita about himself, which is really very extraordinary. Describes himself as the Supreme Father, how he's the source of everything, the seed-giving Father, the mother, also the support and the grandsire. So not just the Father, is everything. How he's the supreme creator, and by his will, the cosmic world is manifest and inalienated as well. How he's the generating seed of all existence. Nothing moving or non-moving exists without him. And fundamentally describes how he is the source of spiritual and material worlds, everything emanating from him. And those who are wise, they'll perform bhakti towards him. He's also the supreme controller, giving heat, withholding heat, sending rain, withholding rain. And with a single fragment of himself, he pervades the whole universe, maintains the whole universe, sustains the whole universe. He's also the supreme maintainer of everyone. The sun, the splendor of the sun is due to him, as well as the moon and the fire. He enters into each planet and makes them stay in orbit. He also he's the digestive factor within our own stomach. So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be living, because we'd have severe indigestion. Him has fire, digests our food while we're sleeping. We don't even know how it's done. We don't even care how it's done. He says done, we know. And he's omnipresent. That means he's everywhere. He's a super soul, he's seated in everyone's heart. He's the beginning, middle, and end. He's omnipotent, the greatest. No truth beyond him. Omniscient, he knows everything, past, present, and future. And he says to Arjuna, many births, both you and I have passed. I remember all of them, you can't. And fundamentally describes how there's only one God. Those who are devotees of other gods, they worship that one God indirectly, perhaps in the wrong way. So we need to be really clear as to the position of Krishna. Very important to understand. Have no doubts. And if you have doubts, the scriptures are there to clear the doubts. And sometimes, yes, the scriptures can be a little bit difficult to understand, especially as Prabhupada was saying, if you read the Shiv Puran, it says Shiva is the supreme. If you read other Purana, other devatas are described as supreme. But we need to understand the position of the scriptures, how some of them are written in order to bring the followers of various devatas at least to a steady situation, steady position, so that they've got faith in something other than themselves. And how these scriptures are have categories. They are in they have some order to them, and if we understand that order, then we can understand how that scripture is guiding one to different levels of worship. And the highest level of worship is given in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, which is considered to be the topmost scripture. So, and then we talked about the divinity, how it's demonstrated, how, by Krishna showing the universal form to Arjun, which Arjun requested, because Arjun knew that in the age of Kali there will be people, all sorts of people claiming to be God. So he said to Krishna, I want to see your divine, your universal form, please, Viratrup. And he reveals it, and it's wondrous, it's extraordinary. And he performed amazing pastimes. He lifted Govardhan, he expanded himself 16,108 times, married as many queens, and he had palaces, as many palaces, one for each queen. And he would be in every palace himself, doing various activities with the queens. He expanded himself 16,108 times. And it wasn't that Krishna could only do one type of activity throughout those 16,108 forms. He could do anything he wanted through any of his forms. He also transformed himself into the cowherd boys and the calves when Brahma kidnapped them. He showed the universal form to Mother Yashoda in his mouth. And he conquered so many kings. He helped Draupadi from being disrobed in the arena of the Kurus. And he brought back to life many dead people, including the 6 children of Devaki. He cured many people with diseases, especially the hunchback. What was her name? Kubja. Turned her into a beautiful woman. Then let's have a look at the qualities. This is the 5th of the 9 characteristics we're looking at. He has 64 qualities, which are all described in the Vedic scriptures. And in contrast to Krishna's qualities, Vishnu has 60, so that's 4 less. Shiva has 5 less than Vishnu, and Brahma has 5 less than Shiva. So in terms of the qualitative description of the Jiva compared to Shiva Tattva and compared to Vishnu Tattva, then we can see that Vishnu Tattva is higher than Shiva and Brahma, but Krishna is even higher than Vishnu. He has 4 qualities which are even beyond Vishnu, and they are, he performs the most amazing pastimes, plays the flute, more incredibly than anybody. Dances, dances like anything. And he has the most amazing devotees who perform Leela with him. So those 4 factors distinguish Krishna even from Vishnu. So Bhagwan is also full of 6 opulences: as beauty, strength, knowledge, renunciation, wealth, and fame. So this is what makes Bhagwan Bhagwan. He's full of these opulences. And of course, it's described in this Vishnu Sahasranam. Chanting 1,000 names of Vishnu is equal to chanting 1 name of Ram. And chanting 3 names of Ram is equal to chanting 1 name of Krishna. So this is showing the glory of the holy names. We know the Vishnu Sahasranam is so powerful, but just 1 name of Ram is equal to Vishnu Sahasranam. And 3 names of Ram is equal to 1 name of Krishna. Yes, Prabhupada. Oh, you're muted, huh?
Just quick question. I mean, Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji. You just now said that if you say 1,000 Vishnu Sahasranam equal to 1 Ram 3 times. Is that what you said?
Equal to one name of Ram.
It's 1,000 names of Vishnu. So you say Vishnu 1,000 times. That's like saying 1 name.
If you say 3 times Ram, 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 then you have already chanted 1,000 names of Vishnu.
No, actually, it's 1 name, just once. Once. If you just say once Ram, it's as if you have chanted 1,000 names of Vishnu.
Oh, and what was the other one, Krishna?
And if you say 1 name of Krishna, It says if you've chanted 3 names of Ram.
So if you say Krishna, then you have chanted 3 names of Ram.
Yeah.
But if you chant 1,000 Vishnu Sastranam, then you only chant 1 Ram.
It's the other way around. If you chant 1 name of Ram, it's equal to 1,000 names of Vishnu.
Oh, right.
Vishnu is 1 Ram.
Vishnu is 1 Ram. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was a bit confused, so I said I must make sure.
Yeah, no,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
And then 1 name of Krishna is like 3,000 names of Vishnu.
Oh, 1 Krishna name is 3,000 Vishnu name.
Yeah, because
it's like saying Vishnu 3,000 times.
Oh my God. We are all every day saying Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Yeah, as soon as you say Krishna, you've already said 3,000 names of Vishnu. Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, it is. Thank you. Carry on, please.
Thank you. So also, number 6 of the 9, the Lord's description is provided. How can you believe in someone without actually seeing them or knowing what they look like, right? Otherwise, it's just blind faith, isn't it? Just. But we know Krishna has a form which has been described in detail in the Brahma Samhita, in the Bhagavatam, and many other Vedic scriptures. His form is just like a human being. Of course, he's not made in our wish. He's not made in our vision. We are made in his vision. Even the Christian Bible states that man is made in the image. Sorry, we're not made in his image. We are made in his image. It's not the other way around. He's not made in our image. Man is made in the image of God. That means God is a person with 2 hands, 2 legs. Of course, he may have more. Humans are made in his image. His complexion is dark blue, like that of a rain-filled cloud. Vainam kwanantam arvindam dalaya taksham barhavatam samasitam buddha sundarangam kandapakoti kamaniya vishesham govindamadi purusham tamamjam. That is the verse in the Brahma Samhita which describes that Krishna's complexion is that of a freshly formed rain cloud. A dark bluish color, very beautiful color, extraordinarily beautiful color. His eyes are like lotus petals. He's ever youthful. Again, in the Brahma Samhita, that description of Krishna is given. He likes to play the flute. Venam, he likes to play the flute. He wears a peacock feather. That's again part of that same verse. Venam kwanantam aravindam. He wears the kastuba jewel around his neck. So these are he wears yellow cloth, pitambar. You know, we like to wear different colors. He only wears one because it reminds him of Srimati Radharani. But of course, he has many different shades of this yellow garments, and each time he wears it, it's unique. He has broad shoulders and chest. He has a deep navel point. His curly hair reaches his shoulders. His magnificent smile, wearing it always, come what may. He's full of bliss, and his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. Lotus eyes, black lotus eyes, his eyes are black, lotus-shaped. He's got a heavy, deep voice, and he's got very sharp, exquisite features. So he's described. 7th is Lord's history dates back to billions of years. Again, described in the scriptures. Further details on the pastimes of Lord Krishna in each of his incarnations can be found in the Bhagavatam. The Vedic scriptures contain the history of Lord Krishna dating back to billions of years. Right back to the creation of this universe, and well before that as well, of course. He's also been seen. Krishna has incarnations. He's incarnated many times in the current cycle of creation. In each incarnation, millions see him. Krishna appeared himself 5,000 years ago. Archaeologists have found the city where he lived in Dwarka, as described in the Vedic scriptures. So we know his address. NASA has taken satellite pictures of the bridge between India and Sri Lanka that Lord Krishna built in his Ram incarnation some 1.7 million years ago. So there's a lot of evidence if one cares to look. His address in the spiritual world is known. The Srimad Bhagavatam gives the address of Lord Krishna as the topmost planet, shaped like a lotus, called Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual sky. So this is a bit of a clue. This is Golok Vrindavan. You can see the lotus, the roll, he's in the middle of it, and the petals are around. Okay. So is there one God, or is there many gods? Is this system a monotheistic or polytheistic? Is it one God or many gods? So this is a huge area of confusion, especially in Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism. So it's described that the original form of God is Krishna. He has an eternal, blissful, spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin. He's a prime cause of all causes. So this is Brahma Samhita, text 1. So is the Vedic belief system monotheistic, one God, or polytheistic? Bhagavad Gita clearly states that there is one God. But the Vedic conception of God goes beyond monotheistic or polytheistic. It's not that simple. There is one God, but there are many forms. So that's polymorphic monotheism. Polymorphic means of the one God, there are many forms. He can expand himself as incarnations or avatars. But also, we have to understand that there are many personalities like the Devatas who are intermediaries. So you could argue it's multi-layered polymorphic monotheism. This multi-layered refers to the Devatas who assist the Lord in running the universes. But then there's also the divine couple. With Krishna, there's Radha, Sita, and with Ram, there's Sita. So that one supreme soul manifests in two forms by monotheism. So actually, this is the correct, possibly the correct way of looking at Sanatana Dharma. Multi-layered Devatas, polymorphic, many incarnations, by monotheism. So one God, but the divine couple, two forms. So everyone is looking for God. There's plenty of evidence that Lord Krishna is God. So that concludes that 9 layers breakdown of why we think Krishna is God, the Supreme Lord. So it's just a little bit more. According to revealed scriptures, there is one God who has many forms, but also many names. Krishna has 2 types of names. So this is very interesting. There are primary names and there are secondary names. Both these types of names are very potent, but the primary names are ones which describe the pastimes of the Lord, such as Govinda, and are regarded as more potent than the secondary names because they address the personal activities of the Lord and therefore will attract the Lord's attention more. What are the secondary names? Secondary names describe the qualities of the Lord, such as Ishwar, controller. So Ishwar is another name for God, but it's like you're addressing him as Mr. or Bhagawan, Sir. And therefore they're considered less potent. Whereas the primary names, you're actually calling him by his pastimes. Makanchor. Now, Makanchor is not a secondary name. It's not addressing him formally. It's addressing him informally. It's calling him butter thief. Makanchor, you're a butter thief. But he loves that because that is describing one of his pastimes. Damodara is also regarded a very personal name. It's actually an insulting name to the Lord because he was called that by Mother Yashoda. You are now Damodara. I've bound you by ropes around your stomach. But that is taken by the Lord in a very affectionate way. When he's called Damodara, he immediately turns his face and, who's calling me now? Who's that wonderful soul? So these primary names are addressing the Lord in an informal capacity, but in a very personable way. Whereas the secondary names address him in a formal capacity. Ishwar, you're the supreme control. Bhagawan, you're full of opulences. That doesn't have any intimacy. Whereas those personal names have great intimacy and the Lord becomes attracted to those names. Okay, let's stop there. I think we're doing 20 minutes. Or should we do a little bit more? Let's do a little bit more. Meaning of Damodar. Damo means rope. Damo also means self-controlled. And Udar means waste. Also can mean pure. This refers to a glorious pastime where Krishna, the Supreme Lord, was tied by a rope around his waist by his mother. How is it that Yashoda Mai was able to tie the Lord, whom the sun and the moon are so scared of? They rise and set every day. How can she tie him with rope? Background to this wonderful pastime is in order to enjoy loving parental pastime, Krishna takes a mother and father who are not ordinary living entities. So we have to understand, Krishna is the mother and he is the father. He's the grandsire, he says himself in the Bhagavad Gita. But he does accept very powerful personalities who are pretty much non-different from him as a mother and father, to enjoy pastimes, to enjoy these loving parental pastimes. Common understanding is that Krishna appeared to Vasudeva and Devaki 5,000 years ago. He appeared at midnight in a jail in Mathura, and his parents requested him to hide his divinity and somehow leave Mathura. In response to this appeal, Krishna transformed his four-armed form to that of a baby. Invoking his illusionary potency, enabled Vasudeva to leave the prison with him unnoticed and cross the Yamuna river to Gokul. So now I think the rest will come to tomorrow, because there's some really amazing information which has been provided by the previous acharyas, especially in the writings of the six Goswamis and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's given some information which is actually mind-blowing. So we can look at that tomorrow. Any questions, any comments?
Oh, hello, it's me again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You know, you said that the Krishna said he's only God, but then he's got lot of different, I don't know the word you use.
Avatars, incarnations.
Avatars, yeah. But those avatars, all of them got names in it.
Yes.
So when there is a avatar, then you think, oh my God, what are you going to do? Are you going to believe in that avatar, or you still follow the Ram? Oh, sorry, the Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna is giving a choice. You know, devotees have so many different ways they want to serve God. So what Krishna does is he gives the devotees the opportunity to serve in the way they want to serve him. This is the beauty of the Supreme Lord. He allows his devotees to worship him in whatever capacity they want. And that's why there's millions and billions of avatars.
And all of them got all different names, isn't it?
Yeah. And whichever one you are attracted to, that is your Ishtadev. That is your, like Hanuman. He was taken to see Krishna. And he said, yes, my dear Lord, I can see you are Adi Purush. But my Ishtadev is still Ram. So you never give up your Ishtadev, the one that you are most attracted to, you never give up. Doesn't matter how many incarnations and avatars come. Even if Ram is your most beloved Ishtadev, your most beloved deity, you stick to that. You stick to that. Murari Gupta was told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, give up the name of Ram and chant Krishna's name. And Murari Gupta, he all night he cried and he cried. He couldn't do it. So he came in the morning to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, I can't do it. I have to commit suicide because I cannot follow your instruction. I cannot give up my Ram. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, of course you can't. You are Hanuman. You are an incarnation of Hanuman. So I was just testing you to see your resolve about your dedication to Ram. So if you have a certain deity that you follow, never give up. As long as, of course, he's part of the Supreme, one of the incarnations, or Krishna himself.
Thank you.
Never give up.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's stop there.